A young black police officer believed the law would always protect her. She believed if you worked hard and did the right thing, nothing bad could happen. But one quiet decision changed everything. She said no to the wrong man, and the system she trusted turned its back on her. Far from home, locked inside a prison filled with men who had nothing to lose, she met someone whose truth could destroy powerful people. And just when justice finally seemed possible, he vanished. Taken, silenced. The question is not whether she can save him, but how much she will have to lose to try. Night fell gently over Bayport City, but nothing felt gentle inside Maya Lewis. She stood alone in the locker room, removing her badge slowly, feeling its weight in her palm. For years, she had believed the badge meant safety, fairness, and truth. She believed rules mattered, that discipline protected good people. Tonight that belief felt thin. The walls hummed with silence, broken only by distant radios. Maya tied her hair back carefully, the same way she always did. Order kept her steady. She did not cry, not yet. Something told her life was about to change, and not for the better. She felt it settle quietly deep inside her. Maya had worked for the Harborview Police since she was 21. She followed rules, showed respect, and stayed focused. Being a black woman in uniform meant eyes were always watching. Some officers doubted her skill, others questioned her place. She answered with silence and results. Her files were clean, her reports exact. She never raised her voice or crossed lines. Men noticed her looks, but she never invited attention. Work was duty, nothing else. That rule kept her safe, or so she thought. It was the rule she trusted the most then. Captain Thomas Reed had noticed Maya from the beginning. He watched the way she walked, the way she spoke. His power in the station was known by everyone. People obeyed him without questions. When he called Maya into his office, she felt uneasy. The blinds were half closed, the room quiet. He praised her work, her discipline, her future. Then his words shifted, becoming personal and heavy. Maya understood the meaning at once. Her answer was calm, firm, and final. No, she would not cross that line. For anyone too easily. Reed did not hide his anger after her refusal. His voice grew cold, measured, and sharp. He spoke about consequences, about choices, about obedience. Maya stood straight, refusing to bend. She reminded him she had done nothing wrong. His smile was thin and dangerous. Within days, paperwork moved quietly. No meetings, no warnings, no explanation. The transfer order arrived like a quiet threat. Stone assignments, staff needs. Official language masked truth. She was being sent far away, to ironclad prison alone. And everyone knew why. But no one spoke. Not openly. At all. Maya packed her locker without complaint or tears. Each fold of fabric was slow and careful. She pressed her uniform, cleaned her boots, stayed neat. Leaving Harborview felt like exile. Ironclad prison stood miles away from her life. The gates were high, gray, unforgiving. Metal doors closed with deep sounds that stayed in her bones. Inmates watched with hard eyes, some empty, some angry. This place did not believe in hope. Maya reminded herself she still believed in rules. Rules had to matter somewhere. Even here, she hoped. Despite fear and doubt growing, her days settled into strict routine inside Ironclad. Keys, checks, counts, slow walks through narrow halls. She spoke little, observed much. Then she noticed Elijah Brooks. He moved with calm, never rushed, never loud. His uniform was clean, his posture steady. He followed rules without struggle. When their eyes met, he did not stare. There was respect in his silence. That unsettled Maya more than anger would. She told herself not to notice him, but her eyes searched for him anyway. Each day without reason. She disliked that feeling. Very much. Inside her chest. Weeks passed with no words between them. Then one evening, everything shifted quietly. Maya escorted inmates down the corridor. As Elijah passed, something brushed her palm. She stiffened but kept walking. Later, alone, she unfolded the small paper. 2 words were written clearly: Clinic Midnight. Her mind argued with itself for hours. This was wrong, dangerous, forbidden. Yet part of her felt pulled toward the truth. She barely slept that night. Questions kept her awake. About him, about herself, about justice itself. She hated the pull, but felt it growing. Slowly, inside. At midnight, Ironclad felt almost asleep. Lights buzzed softly, halls empty. Maya stood before the clinic door. Her hand hovered, unsure. Rules whispered at her mind. Something stronger whispered back. She opened the door and stepped inside. Elijah waited, calm as ever. His voice was low, steady. He thanked her for coming. She warned him this could change everything. He said the truth already had. Then he began to speak slowly, about a job once held, about choices made, and punishment earned unfairly. Maya listened, without breath, moving. Elijah told her about Crestfield Foods. He had supervised production with care. Then orders came to cut corners. Unsafe ingredients were approved quietly. Elijah refused to sign the papers. Money and titles were offered. He still refused. Soon police appeared at his home. False records filled his computer. His real work vanished overnight. 15 years was the sentence given. No parole, no mercy. He spoke without anger, only with tired truth. Maya could not dismiss it. The details were too real. Her belief cracked quietly. Inside her chest. She promised nothing, yet stayed. After that night, Maya could not turn away. She began searching files, records, old reports. She called a journalist she once trusted. Whispers of corruption surfaced slowly. Patterns formed where none seemed before. Months of effort passed quietly. Then evidence appeared from a former worker. Emails, tests, signed documents spoke clearly. The court moved faster than expected. Elijah walked free into daylight again. Maya believed justice had finally answered. She was wrong. 2 days later, he vanished. A note waited in her home. Come alone if you want him alive. Fear settled deep. Maya sat on the edge of her couch for a long time after reading the note. Her hands rested on her knees, still and cold. The room felt smaller than usual, like the walls had moved closer without asking. She read the words again, slow and careful, as if they might change. Come alone if you want him alive. The message was clear. There was no mistake. Whoever took Elijah knew exactly who she was, and they knew how to control her. Fear did not rush through her. It settled, deep and heavy, like a stone placed inside her chest. She stood up and walked to the window. Outside, the city looked normal. Cars passed, lights glowed, people lived their lives without knowing what had just changed for her. Maya thought about calling someone, the police, her old unit, anyone, but she knew she could not. They said alone for a reason. If she brought help, Elijah would suffer. That thought cut deeper than any threat. She grabbed her jacket, her phone, and the note. There was no plan yet, only movement. She needed to go. Waiting would only make things worse. Ridgewood City was 3 hours away. The drive felt endless. Maya kept both hands on the wheel, eyes fixed on the road. Every mile felt like she was leaving the world she knew behind. Her mind filled with questions she could not answer. Who took him? Was it the company? Was it someone worse? Was he alive right now? She remembered Elijah's calm voice, the way he never raised it, the way he trusted her when he had no reason to. That trust weighed on her now. She whispered to herself that she would not fail him, not after everything. When she reached Ridgewood City, the sky was turning gray. She parked near an old warehouse by the address on the note. The building looked empty, worn by time and neglect. Her phone buzzed as soon as she stepped out of the car. An unknown number. She answered without speaking. A man's voice told her to walk inside. Alone, no calls, no mistakes. Then the line went dead. Maya took one slow breath and entered the building, her footsteps loud against the concrete floor. Inside, the air smelled of dust and oil. The lights were dim, buzzing overhead. Two men appeared from the shadows. They searched her carefully, taking her phone, her keys, her badge. One of them smiled without warmth. They led her deeper inside to a small room with a chair and nothing else. She was told to sit. The door closed. Maya did not cry or beg. She kept her back straight and her eyes forward. Fear lived inside her now, but it did not control her. She had come for Elijah. That was all that mattered. Minutes passed, maybe longer. Time felt strange in that room. Finally, the door opened again. A tall man stepped in, dressed neatly, his face calm and sharp. He spoke slowly, choosing each word. He told her that Elijah Brooks had caused powerful people a lot of trouble. His release had reopened things that were meant to stay buried. Maya said nothing. The man continued. He said the truth was dangerous, and people who chased it often paid a price. Then he leaned closer and asked her why she cared so much. Maya answered honestly. She said Elijah was innocent. She said the truth mattered. The man laughed softly. He told her innocence did not protect anyone. He said Elijah was alive for now, but that could change quickly. He offered Maya a choice. She could walk away, forget everything, sign papers saying she acted alone, and Elijah might disappear quietly. Or she could keep pushing, and he would not survive. The choice was placed in her hands like a blade. Simple, cruel, final. Maya asked to see Elijah. The man considered her for a moment, then nodded. She was led down another hallway to a locked room. Inside, Elijah sat on the floor, his hands tied, his face bruised. When he saw her, his eyes softened, despite the pain. Maya felt something break inside her, but she stayed strong. She told him she was there. He told her he knew she would come. That trust burned in her chest. She promised him she would fix this. He shook his head slowly. He told her to protect herself, even if it meant leaving him. They were pulled apart before she could answer. Maya was taken back to the first room. The tall man returned. He asked again, walking away or fighting. Maya closed her eyes for a moment. She thought about the badge, the rules, the system she once trusted. She thought about the lies, the abuse, the people crushed under power. Then she opened her eyes. She said she would not walk away. Silence followed. The man nodded as if he expected that answer all along. Maya was released an hour later, dropped back near her car with nothing but her jacket. Her phone was returned, wiped clean. A final message was sent to her phone before it shut off. 1 week. Fix this or lose him. As she drove back toward Bayport City, exhaustion settled over her. She knew she was being watched. Every move would matter now. Chapter 2 ends with Maya alone on the road, knowing the system would not save her, and realizing that everything ahead would require sacrifice she may not survive. The drive back to Bayport City felt longer than before. Maya did not turn on the radio. Silence helped her think. The words 1 week echoed in her mind, not loud, just steady and cruel. She knew the people behind this were watching closely. Any mistake could cost Elijah his life. She kept her speed normal, her face calm, like this was just another drive home after work. Inside, everything felt tight and heavy. This was no longer about rules. This was about survival. When she got home, Maya did not sleep. She sat at her small table and wrote down everything she knew. Names, dates, places, meetings, files. She drew lines between them slowly. Crestfield Foods appeared everywhere. Executives, lawyers, former partners. She realized the kidnapping was not random fear, it was control. They wanted her quiet. She remembered what the tall man said, the truth was dangerous. That meant the truth was still powerful. That gave her one small place to stand. By morning, Maya made a decision. She could not fight this alone. She reached out to the journalist who helped before. His voice was tense when he answered. He warned her she was being reckless. Maya told him about the kidnapping, about the threats, about the week. There was a long pause on the line. Then he said quietly that Crestfield had connections deeper than they knew before. Politicians, judges, donors. This went beyond one company now. Maya thanked him anyway. Even if he could not help, she needed someone to know. She also contacted a former public defender who once spoke against corporate crimes. A woman named Karen Holt. Karen listened carefully, asked few questions, and did not interrupt. When Maya finished, Karen said something Maya would never forget. She said when powerful people panic, it means they feel exposed. And exposure can be used. Karen agreed to help quietly. No courts yet, no police, just preparation. Maya felt a small sense of strength return. Not hope, just direction. Days passed slowly. Maya moved carefully, never staying in one place too long. She noticed cars that seemed to follow her, then disappear. She kept records hidden in different places, notes backed up, files copied. Every night she thought about Elijah, wondered if he had food, water, light. She remembered his calm voice, even when afraid. That memory kept her steady. She refused to let fear make choices for her. Fear was expected. Obedience was what they wanted. On the 5th day, the journalist called again. His voice was low and urgent. He said a former Crestfield board member had agreed to talk. The man was older, sick, and afraid. He wanted protection. He had documents proving Crestfield ordered Elijah framed, proof tied directly to the kidnapping network. The meeting was risky, but necessary. Maya agreed. They met in a small diner just outside the city. Simple place, no cameras, no noise. The man shook as he passed her a flash drive. He whispered that people had died trying to speak before. Maya told him she understood. That night, Karen confirmed the files were real. Emails, signed approvals, payments to police contacts, prison insiders, it was all there. Enough to destroy several lives at the top. But releasing it too fast would get Elijah killed. Maya needed leverage, not noise. She needed proof of life. She needed communication. That was the missing piece. Without it, they controlled everything. Maya sat quietly, thinking. Then made her boldest choice yet. She sent a message through the number they contacted her with. She said she had evidence that could not be erased. She said if Elijah was harmed, everything would be released to the media, to federal agencies, to the world. She demanded proof he was alive. Hours passed. Nothing. Just as doubt began to creep in, her phone buzzed. A short video arrived. Elijah sat in a chair, tired but breathing. He spoke her name softly. The video ended. Maya closed her eyes. Relief came, then anger. Now she knew, she replied, setting terms. The response was fast. They agreed to a trade. Evidence for Elijah. One location. One chance. Karen warned her this could be a trap. Maya knew that already. But this was the only path left. She made copies of everything and sent schedules to the journalist with instructions to release if she did not check in. If she disappeared, the truth would follow. She told no one else where she was going. She pressed her uniform once more before leaving, the same way she always had. Habit grounded her. The exchange site was an old parking structure near the edge of Ridgewood City. Empty, open, exposed. Maya parked, stepped out, holding the flash drive in her coat pocket. The tall man from before stood waiting. His face showed no surprise. He told her to place the drive on the hood of the car. She did. He nodded to someone unseen. Moments later, Elijah was brought forward. He walked slowly but steady. When their eyes met, neither spoke. They did not need to. The tall man picked up the drive and stepped back. Then something changed. Sirens sounded far away. Maya did not call anyone, but someone else had moved. Panic flashed across his face for the first time. He shouted orders. The men scattered. Elijah was pushed away. Maya ran toward him. Tires screamed. Shots rang out. Not close, but close enough. Chaos broke what was planned. Maya grabbed Elijah's arm and pulled him. They ran without looking back. They did not stop until they reached safety. When silence finally returned, Elijah leaned against the wall, breathing hard. He looked at Maya with tired eyes and quiet respect. He said she should have walked away. She shook her head. She said walking away would have ended her. They shared no embrace, no words of love, just understanding. Sirens filled the distance. This time, not for them. The truth had reached people who could not ignore it. Chapter 3 ends with Maya and Elijah sitting side by side, not free, not safe, but no longer powerless. The system had tried to break her. Instead, she learned where justice truly lived, not in rules alone, but in the courage to stand when everything tells you to fall. Sometimes, the law is not enough, and doing the right thing comes with a heavy price. Maya's story is not about being perfect. It is about standing still when everything around you tells you to run. She was tested by power, threatened by fear, and pushed to a place where silence would have been easier. Yet, she chose truth over comfort, and courage over safety. Maya and Elijah's journey shows us that justice does not always wear a uniform or sit in a courtroom. Sometimes it lives in quiet choices, in long nights of doubt, and in the strength to protect another human being, even when no one is watching. Their story reminds us that real change often begins when one person refuses to look away. If this story touched you, take a moment to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share your thoughts in the comments. Tell us where you are watching from, and what part of the story stayed with you the most. Your support helps us bring more powerful stories like this one to life.